Yo guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to flip items in Runescape. Now this guide is both for EOC and 07scape, so don't worry if you see me playing EOC and you play 07, this guide also works for 07 as well. So flipping is a great thing to do if you're planning on bank standing, or if you're just AFKing for a while, or you just need to do something on Runescape that doesn't require that much concentration, since you can easily make upwards of like 500k an hour depending on how much money you're starting off with. What I found out is that the more money you start off with, the more money that you tend to make. But don't worry, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still flip items. So now I'm actually going to show you how you do it. First of all, choose an item that you want to flip. For this example that I'm going to show you, I've chosen papaya fruits. Go to the Grand Exchange and buy one of the item that you want to flip. Buy it for over the median price so that it buys instantly. Write down the price that you bought it for, and then sell it for under the median price so it sells instantly. And then write that number down too. So the first number that we wrote down was the lowest price that your item is selling instantly on the Grand Exchange for right now. So in my case, my first number was 3,600. So that means that no one is selling papaya fruits for under 3,600 right now in the Grand Exchange. And the second number that we wrote down was the highest price that someone is buying the papaya fruits for. And in my case, this was 3,506. Now from these two numbers, we'll be able to tell if the item is worth flipping or not. You can do this by taking away the second number from the first number. So in my case it's 94 and this is called your profit margin, and this means that I'll be making 94 GP per papaya fruit that I flip. So if I was able to flip 1000 of them, I'd make 94k. So this is definitely worth it in my opinion. If this number were under 10, I probably wouldn't do it, as papaya fruits don't really sell that quickly and it just really wouldn't be worth the hassle for 10k. But if it were an item like coal, which I'm going to show you soon, the amount of profit that you get per coal that you flip is usually around 2 to 5, which is really small. But you can flip up to 25k every 4 hours and they buy and sell really quickly, so it really is worth it to do it in that case. So once you find an item that you're happy with and you have your two numbers written down, firstly we're going to be using the second number. Now in my case, my second number is 3,506. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an offer for papaya fruits, and I'm going to make the offer 3,507. So this will basically mean that I am the highest bidder for papaya fruits in the Grand Exchange. So if someone sells papaya fruits for under the price that I'm offering, it will go straight to me. And a lot of people tend to sell their items for under 5% anyway, and a lot of people like to get their money instantly, so our offer will be able to give them that. So a lot of the time you will have to wait quite a while for your items to come in. It really depends on what item you chose. You typically want to go for an item that sells a lot but isn't too popular. So I usually like to look at skills such as summoning and look at the items that get used in there. You just really have to think about it when you're trying to find an item to flip. I have heard that there are some friends chats that tell you what item to flip, but I wouldn't really trust these or use these, since there's going to be a lot of people using that item if the whole friends chat gets told about it. So if you want my opinion, just use your brain and try and think of an item to flip. There are tons of items that you can use, and in the description I am going to include a link to the RS wiki which will show the trade limits on all the items, so you'll know which items you'll be able to flip more of, and it's just a really useful web page to look at when you're flipping. So whilst you're trying to buy your items, other players will be trying to undercut you, and this means that they're going to try and buy the item for a higher price than you are. So if you think your item's taking too long to buy, just do what we did at the beginning of the video and try and find the two numbers again. And if the second number is higher than the amount you are trying to buy it for, then you are going to have to take down your offer and put in a new one which is higher than the new second number. So as you know, for example, I've been putting an offer for 3,507 for these papaya fruits, and if I found out that someone's selling it for 3,508, I'd have to take out my offer and put in a new one for 3,509, and so on. So now I'm going to show you what you do once you've bought your items. For this example I'm going to use coal, which I mentioned earlier. When I checked the buying and selling price of coal earlier, my first number was 263 and the second number was 260. Usually with items like coal you can use the second number, as you don't really need to go any higher when buying them. So I did that and I successfully bought 10,000 coal really quickly. Now when you're going to sell the item, you want to use the first number that you wrote down. In this case it was 263. So I'm going to go one under that and sell my coal for 262, since that will make my coal the cheapest coal on the Grand Exchange. And anyone wanting to instantly buy coal will have to buy it from me. And this coal took less than a minute to sell, and with around 5 minutes I made 20k just from flipping 10k coal. And I could have made more from this, since you're allowed to buy 25k coal every 4 hours, and that would have made me 50k GP, but I was only doing it as an example for the video. Now if you're thinking, oh wow, 20k isn't a lot, usually you aren't going to be flipping only one thing at once. A lot of the time you're going to be flipping multiple items, and some items are going to be making you more money than others, so you could really be making a lot of money from this. So now I'm going to show you some of the items that I've flipped just as an example. Here is one where I flipped water talismans. I bought 499 of them for 6,520 each, and I sold them all for 6,680 each, and that made me a nice little 80k profit. Here I made 50k profit on 1k rocktail, and here I made around 120k on 4,000 sharks. But anyways, that is the end of the video. I hope this guide helped you figure out how to flip items in RuneScape. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace!